Welcome back, KYT. I hope you had a great weekend. We're here today with today's Music Monday. I'm Mr. Freddie, and here we go. Today we're going to be talking about one of the greatest, and I don't say that lightly, one of the greatest composers and lyricists in the American musical theater. And his name is Mr. Stephen Sondheim. You probably know that name as being associated with musicals such as Company, Follies, A Little Night Music, Sweeney Todd, and even Into the Woods. But here are 10 fun facts that you might not know about Mr. Sondheim. Stephen Sondheim was born in New York City on March 22, 1930. But after his parents got divorced when he was just 12 years old in 1942, he and his mother moved to Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Sondheim was childhood friends with the son of famed musical theater writer Oscar Hammerstein II, yes, of Rodgers and Hammerstein fame. Hammerstein soon became Sondheim's mentor and also his father figure. Sondheim was just 23 years old. His first musical was set to open up on Broadway in the 1954-1955 season. The show was called Saturday Night, but it never opened after the lead producer attached to the project died and all of the funding was lost. At the age of 27, Sondheim penned the lyrics for a little musical called West Side Story. You may have heard of it. That show opened on Broadway in 1957 and truly launched Sondheim's career. First musical that Sondheim wrote both the music and the lyrics for on Broadway was called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Try saying that 3 times fast. Funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Guess it's not that hard. Anyway, it opened on Broadway in 1962, and it won the Tony Award for Best Musical. However, Sondheim didn't receive a Tony nomination for Best Original Score or Best Lyrics because his music and lyrics were completely hated and despised by the critics. Think of a time when critics didn't hail Stephen Sondheim and his work. But it happened. So the 60s it was not Sondheim's decade. In 1964, his next show, called Anyone Can Whistle, ran for 9 performances. I can't count. 9 performances. Although it was a complete box office failure, the show did introduce a young Angela Lansbury to musical theater. And if you don't know who Angela Lansbury is, ask your parents. Finally, in 1970, things started looking up for Mr. Sondheim when he began a collaboration with famed Broadway producer and director Harold Prince. Their first show, Company, earned Sondheim his first Tony Award for Best Original Score. In 1975, Judy Collins' cover of Stephen Sondheim's song, Send in the Clowns, won a Grammy Award for Song of the Year. The song was originally written for A Little Night Music in 1973. I want you to imagine that. A musical theater song won a Grammy Award for Song of the Year. When was the last time you ever heard about that happening? In 1981, Sondheim and Prince's latest collaboration, Merrily We Roll Along, closed after just 16 performances and 44 previews. It marked the end of their partnership. On March 22, 2010, Sondheim's 80th birthday, the Henry Miller's Theater, located on 124 West 43rd Street in New York City, was renamed in honor of Mr. Sondheim. And one more fun fact, because it is impossible to limit this list to just 10 things. Stephen Sondheim has gone on record to say that the only time he was ever truly satisfied with the ending of Company, which is his 1970 collaboration with Harold Prince, was watching a production at the York Theatre in the 1990s. Now, if you don't know Company at all, the ending of the show comes when the main character, Bobby, is reflecting back on his entire life and his relationships with his friends, and watching his friends embark on journeys to find love and be in committed relationships. So Bobby sings this amazing song. I love it. It's called Being Alive. And Sondheim actually doesn't like that song. He wrote it and he doesn't like it. but the only time he was ever satisfied with it was watching this production at the York Theatre. And that production was directed by a woman named Susan H. Schulman, and she is actually one of my professors at Penn State. So that is pretty cool. I was doing some research on Mr. Sondheim last semester for a project, and I came across this fun fact in a textbook that was just sitting in the Penn State Library. And so I'm flipping through the pages, and all of a sudden I see my professor's name in the textbook, and that blew my mind. Yeah. So that's all the time we have today for Music Monday. Tune in tomorrow for TikTok Tuesday. This is Mr. Freddie signing off. Now go listen to some Sondheim.